What? I hadn't said anything in a very long time. I have been watching YouTube videos. The Tao. I'm bracing myself because the Tao be doing the most. Be checking and reading mofos for filth. All right. Is it more than one card? If it is, we're going to put it back. If it's, yeah, it's more than one. Because we cannot take 2 cards from the Tao. The messages to just be too elaborate. Kind of wanted to look at them, but then I didn't because you just never know. But divine forces of unconditional love, light, peace, wealth, health, prosperity. What does the collective need to know for our highest good? And so that's why we pick we use the Tao, because it's going to tell us the good, the bad, the ugly, indifferent, whatever it is. All right. And if this is what we need to know for our highest good, so be it. We got to face it, right? We don't operate in the ego. I was just going to pull one card and not even look at the bottom of the deck. But, okay, Tao. I'm liking this. And it is in alignment with the energy that I've been feeling. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I've been feeling more grounded within myself, more confident in self, content, very content, in said groundedness and what I can do with it. Now that there is more groundedness, more consciousness, more awareness of gifts and how to use them. Just like I've been saying in a lot of multiple readings in regards to the cards that came out, like the learning process there's a quickening to the learning process, and I do feel that to be fact as of now. Like usually you get a reading and it can apply to what's now the energy that you may be currently going through, but it'll make more sense maybe within a month or two. And no longer than about a month or two, it's going to start making more sense. Some synchronizations will begin to happen. And you're like, oh, okay. And so when it's first introduced to you, it's to kind of warm you up to it, right? And then when it actually happens, it's like Spirit was preparing. It's just Spirit guides, ancestors, so on and so forth, just preparing you for what's to come, right? It may seem completely just far-fetched at first, but then keep living, keep believing, and you'll see its manifestation in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But we actually got some good cards here as we get into the Tao messages. All right, so are we going to start with the bottom of the deck? I think we're going to start with the bottom of the deck. And you see him smiling. I really love this. So of course, if there's more understanding of your spiritual gifts, then there is an evolution and a growth within one's spiritual self. And so the first card we have here is the Cauldron, right? So that can be like cups energy, love, if it is cups, which represents, the water aspect or liquid aspect that goes into a cup. Water energy is very intuitive, but let me not go off of all that, and let's just read the card because we already have enough that's going to be discussed when we open up this book. Wow. Okay, so the number is 50. I didn't see that. I thought it was going to be like 30 something, whatever. Ooh. Oh, guys. Okay, so the number is 50. The number is 50, which reduces to a 5. And then the next card also reduces to a 5, which is 14. Wow. And underneath that is progress. Okay, so just to discuss this card, it says prosperity. Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. So I'm just going to shift that up and wow. Okay, so the cauldron card even does say spiritual renewal. That's what I'm saying, that evolution, when you evolve or transform, when there was a very deep transformation, when all of the planets aligned on January 25th. Nevertheless, there was a spiritual renewal, but the first inner alchemy is the first keyword on here. Mastery. Wow. Excuse me. Spiritual renewal. Consecrate. Wow. Okay. Contain. Rejuvenation. Discerning wisdom. Ooh. Okay. I am loving this. God must have released what you needed to release. And now you've made space and made room for your blessings, your prosperity, and for progress to come in. Let me just go ahead and go over the keywords on this prosperity card. And the progress card is a number 8. The number is actually 35, but it reduces to an 8. And actually, 8s for me can represent prosperity. So I'm loving this, baby. From the Tao too. Oh, it's kind of like when someone that is an expert in your field gives you a compliment. You be like, oh man, that means so much, especially coming from you. Type energy. But the keywords on the prosperity card is health, good fortune, success, express gratitude by supporting others. So you need to, initially I thought people were going to be expressing gratitude to you, people that support you or will be expressing gratitude to you more versus just not saying anything, keeping it to themselves. But I feel like this is saying that you need to express your gratitude by supporting others more. So if there's any way that you can support others more than what you're already doing, make sure you do that. And material possessions. The keywords for progress is advancement, gaining recognition, appreciation. Oh, see, well, there goes the appreciation. I thought the other card was saying people will appreciate you. No, the other card was saying what I said it said, but then it's saying here that you will receive appreciation and recognition. It says achievements here, acceleration. What I say about that, the learning process becoming quicker, being able to process more easily. It says steady gains and increased clarity. Oh, this is so beautiful. Okay, so let's go to 50, which is the number 5. Again, 5 represents change, but just like I've been saying in other readings, I feel like the change is going to be for the better. For the majority of most people, I would say, spiritual journey, when you see the word change, it never really feels good. Okay. And of course it wouldn't. You're in the beginning of your spiritual journey. So there's a lot of change that needs to happen that is going to really put you in, make you do a 180. Right? Because again, we exist in a realm that is ruled by duality. A lot of people like to stay facing the sun and ignoring the shadow, ignoring the dark side, but it's two sides of the same coin. You can't forever ignore that shadow side. It must be addressed. It deserves to be addressed. It deserves to be heard. It deserves to be understood and integrated in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Let's read cauldron. The cauldron represents a bringing forth from the depths of your being, an expression of your own vision and creativity. Oh, I love it. You are now ready to give birth to a dream that has been developing within you for some time. The moment is ripe to make meaningful contribution, and your essential self has already begun to prepare you for the next step. Within itself, your unique nature carries all you need to succeed, and your commitment is such that you will achieve the best possible results without compromising the integrity. That's a big word here on this channel. We fucks with integrity, right? Without compromising the integrity of your work or of your own well-being. I'm gonna read that again. Within itself, your unique nature carries all you need to succeed, and your commitment is such that you will achieve the best possible results because your unique character, your unique nature carries all you need to succeed. And your commitment will assure that you achieve the best possible results without compromising your integrity or the integrity of your work. It says, when life reveals the path ahead, it is testifying, come on with the testify, to the timelines of our creative vision and its potential to benefit others. We didn't stop believing. We kept on believing, right? The first whisperings of that go ahead may appear from within or in unexpected ways as dreams and insights sparked by a glimpse of something or words overheard in passing conversations. This existential green light is the culmination of a long gestation period. Who are you telling? Okay, let me read that again. This existential green light is the culmination of a long gestation period that required patient perseverance on your part. Who you telling, okay? Not only has it been a test of character, it has also reflected the depth of your own self-worth. Read it again. Not only has it been a test of character that you have passed with flying colors, it has also reflected the depth of your own self-worth. The depth. It has reflected the depth of your own self-worth. You did the work, and it has been successfully completed. It has been successfully completed. Situations that are seemingly bad, seemingly distractions, you alchemize that shit. Inner alchemy here. The first keyword on this card. You alchemize that shit. The test was you learning how to alchemize your energy, your feelings. We became integrated. What I say about that shadow, learning to integrate it. We became integrated and mature by watching, waiting, and trusting. Don't stop believing that all these insights and impressions will be added to the cauldron and will one day be fully cooked. We waited. We trusted. We kept watching. Going through situations, being mindful, going through those situations, and learning the lessons. Trusting from your core that there is perfection in the timing of all things. The seemingly bad, like that I was just talking about, keeps the cauldron simmering nicely. And as time passes, its fragrance begins to permeate every aspect of your life. As time passes, we've waited and been patient. It's been a long gestation period. Learning to relax with life, exactly. Especially in regards to the reading I did earlier. Like, drama, like, what is drama? That's not even in your vocabulary anymore, because you don't do drama. That's ghetto. We don't do ghetto. You see the bigger picture in a lot of things more quickly, okay? Because there's time we didn't see the bigger picture and we went and started to explain ourselves. It's not that we went off. Even in us explaining ourselves was giving too much, right? Or reacting in the wrong way. Shouldn't feel like we need to explain ourselves, but in an immature space, that inner child, maybe that's what that inner child needed, to feel assured, and you just needed to do what you needed to do in that moment of time, because we are helping that inner child to heal. And if that's what that inner child needed, that explanation was kind of like a hug to that inner child or whatever, that's what we did. But I feel like our inner child has now grown up a little bit. Now it's like you've reparented your child self. Now you're about to reparent maybe your teenage self within. Maybe that's the side of you that you're now going to begin working on, or maybe with the quickening that you're going to skip a few levels, right? And you just grown in these pieces, making grown decisions, accomplishing grown achievements, learning to relax with life's give and take, that duality, right? Learning to relax with life's gives and takes. That requires so much courage, strength, and maturity. Oh, such a pain. It can be, or it was very painful, to finally get to this middle ground or a balanced state in between life's give and take. Because life is a motherfucker, okay? Without imposing limits, right? Without imposing limits, just going with the flow, which is what the Tao is all about. And paying attention, watching, waiting, trusting, finding the lessons, right? Without imposing limits or calculating gains and losses. Not being too attached to the outcome, whether it's a win or a loss. Like, not getting too happy, but not getting too sad, but finding that middle ground. Because we know at any time things can shift. We find that middle ground and just be content, at ease, peace, at peace. It says, doing this, learning to relax with life's give and takes without imposing limits or calculating gains and losses, creates wisdom, compassion, and the ability to discern what is appropriate in even the most difficult situations or the most difficult circumstances. This sharpened awareness works in harmony with an intuitive knowing that immediately senses the correct means of approach. This sharpened awareness, with the quick learning, right, works in harmony with an intuitive knowing that immediately senses the correct means of approach and who to approach when help is needed. The cauldron is wisdom that purifies the false, superfluous, superfluous, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, and the superficial. Wisdom purifies the superficial. Wisdom purifies the superfluous. What is superfluous or superfluous? I've seen the word before, just don't know. Super Bowl's coming up. unnecessary, especially through being. What that's supposed to mean? Through being more than enough. Especially through being more than enough. Unnecessary. Being extra. And that can be annoying. Just wanting to flex. That's someone that's in their ego. That like to give all kind of unnecessary information to inflate their ego, to inflate the matter or whatever it is, lying in a way. Well, I guess it's not really a lie. Just because you put 20 on 10, maybe when it comes to like what is needed for a resume or something like that, you know, it's just unnecessary, and it gives like, you know, ego, and it's just doing too much, which really shows low self-esteem. If you gotta be all extra and stuff. So it purifies the false, superfluous or superficial, and shifts the emphasis from the mundane to the higher values that help us live in peaceful harmony with nature and each other. By defining and refining, okay, that duality, right? The cauldron increases our capacity for clarity by illuminating our virtues. Wisdom is luminous. When we live creatively in self-awareness and self-mastery, the resulting luminosity, merely by its presence, effortlessly exposes ignorance and darkness of all kinds. I was just about to say that your light, what was it? Your light calls out the darkness. There's one card I have that is along the same lines as this message. Your light calls out their demons. I think that's what the card says. And that's basically what this is saying. Your luminosity of self-awareness and mastery, right? Just your presence. Like I said, your energy shifts rooms. Just by your mere presence, you effortlessly expose ignorance and darkness of all kinds. That's why a lot of people don't like you. Why a lot of people do their best to try to get over on you, to make you feel less than them, to try to control you, because they're intimidated. Right? People who are not intimidated by another, they can just exist and mind their own goddamn business and just live their life happy, at peace, content, just good, comfortable, and bliss. Just saying that word sent a tingle down into my sacral chakra, right? It's just beautiful. Just let's ground ourselves in bliss, and whatever that looks like for you. Ground yourself in bliss, in the mentality of bliss. We have a bliss mentality, okay? A bliss mentality. I like that. Yeah. Perceiving life as an invitation that only awaits your participation triggers a subtle dismantling of rigid thinking patterns that have created insecurity or fear of change. We were just talking about that in regards to change in the number 5. I'm going to read that again because I was just reading. I wasn't really comprehending. I wasn't really processing. It says perceiving life as an invitation, right? Like an adventure. Perceiving life as an invitation that only awaits your participation. It only awaits your participation. All you have to do is participate. Don't have to be the best, just participate. Give your energy to it. Do the things. That only awaits your participation triggers a subtle dismantling of rigid thinking patterns, But don't be afraid to explore new ideas, new concepts, new theories. Just your participation triggers a subtle dismantling of rigid thinking patterns. That's what you had to do on your spiritual journey that have created insecurity and fear of change. Again, like I said before, it takes courage to do, so much courage to do that. Oh my gosh, so much courage to look at the man in the mirror and take accountability. So much courage and maturity, wisdom, strength. It can be exhausting. It says you are at a crossroads now. The path may not be visible, but you sense and welcome the first signs of the deep shift that has taken place. There may be a greater sense of freedom in your words and actions and how you relate to others. Just a greater freedom and openness to people. You know, at first we were in isolation because we were healing. We were doing the work, facing our shadows. Now we can come out of the shadows and back into the light and back into society without all of the things that limited us before and put and all of the fears that came with that. It says, finally, you can appreciate the unique individual you are. Offering that uniqueness to others is the way to return something in gratitude to existence. Okay? Offering that uniqueness, which is you, your unique individual self, is a way to return something in gratitude to existence. Okay? Just being your unique individual and authentic self, just offering your authentic self is a way to give back to existence. The more you give, the more you will continue to be rejuvenated. Your life can become your art, your prayer, your meditation. Just a whole new world of bliss can open up to you. Meditation is bliss. Your life can become a meditation. Your life, it says your life can become your art, your prayer, and your meditation. Your dreams coming true, the prayers coming true. In its wisdom and abundance, Tao gently guides us to follow its course. And when we do so, it gives back 1,000-fold. Baby, I ain't never heard that. I see 10 and hear 10-fold all the time, but 1,000-fold. Do you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Here we go.
Bluetooth mode.
Can you feel it? Dum dum. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? I don't like how that looked, just sitting there just like a phallus. Okay, we ain't even gotten to the lines. Okay, bottom line. And there's 6 lines in the I Ching symbol here for the cauldron. The bottom line says, put your restricted thinking aside and stay open to receive from others. Much can happen if you're flexible and willing to embrace their guidance. Line 2, I'm going to try to just go through these because we spent a lot of time. Line 2, you have accomplished much, and now the quality of your achievement and its positive reception by others have put you in the limelight. Don't be afraid of the abundance and prosperity that is coming your way. Remember, we did have the prosperity card, okay? With that beautiful, is this the prosperity card? Yep, this prosperity card. It's gorgeous. Okay, and then underneath that is progress. But in this card, that card has a whole lot of yellow in it. So let me not talk about it, but be about it. Let you see it. Progress. Isn't that such a vibrant card? Spirit says you are making progress. And this progress is bringing in prosperity because of this cauldron energy. You have mastered self. Again, the keywords for this cauldron card that we're reading right now: inner alchemy, mastery, spiritual renewal, Consecrate. You are consecrated. Okay. You are a sacred being at this point. Okay. And you have evolved into that. Contain rejuvenation, discerning wisdom. Again, don't be afraid of the abundance that is coming your way. It is well deserved. Unfortunately, the harsh criticism and envy of others goes with this new territory. Don't get sidetracked by that. Don't get sidetracked by that. We kind of spoke about that earlier too, I believe. When there's poo on your shoe, I used that analogy earlier in the reading before. Right? And the reading before is basically talking about the harsh criticism and envy that goes with people who your energy shifts rooms, even if it's a chat room. They ain't even got to see you and be and physically experience you. You know what I'm saying? But even when they physically experience you, you know, your light calls out people's demons. And sometimes, you know, just the light in your words of holding people accountable and speaking the things that most want to just sweep under the rug or act like didn't happen or that they didn't see or hear it. You know, unfortunately, the harsh criticism and envy of others goes with this new territory. Don't get sidetracked. When there's poo on your shoe, wipe it off, continue on your way. It's basically kind of what I use the analogy of poo on your shoe, but I was like, the drama that other people try to put on you, drama. Like I said in the beginning of the read, drama, that's not in our vocabulary. We don't do that. We wipe that shit and keep it moving and forget about it. Like we ain't even thinking about it no more. It's like it didn't happen. Right? Line 3. You are bursting at the seams to share with others, but they don't seem to hear you or receive from you. They don't have the bandwidth. That's why you are bursting at the seams to share, but you know people are not going to understand you. They're going to misunderstand you. And some people are just committed to misunderstanding you. And that's what I spoke about, the committed to misunderstanding you in the reading earlier today as well, when it comes to the drama and how that's not part of our vocabulary anymore. We don't do drama. We don't do ghetto. We don't do ghetto. But they don't hear or receive you. You're concerned that the gifts you are offering will be wasted has created heartache in you, because you want to give, you want to help these people, but you already know it will be wasted, and there's heartache from that. But you really can take refuge in your own joy. Slowly the tide will turn and others will begin to perceive your integrity and worth. Be patient and stay gentle with yourself and others. Don't be afraid to continue to plant those seeds, no matter whether people receive them or not. Plant the seed, you know what I'm saying, and go about your business. We don't stay for the drama. We say what we got to say. We stand up for what we believe in, and we keep it moving no matter what attacks that may try to come because of, you know, envy or, you know, again, your light calling out their demons, you know, shining a light on their ignorance, and so now they're mad at you. That's a personal problem, and we're just not taking shit personally anymore. We've grown and evolved and transformed into a more balanced being, more conscious being. So be patient and stay gentle with yourself and others. Forgive them, for they know not. All right, line 4. Your yes should have been a graceful no. Remember, say that your yes should have been a graceful no. As a result, troubles are increasing. You weren't ready to step up to the plate, and neither were your teammates. And everyone's efforts were less than wholehearted. No excuses can alter these unfortunate facts. So, line 4, it's just a lesson. If anyone may be experiencing that, where your yes should have been a graceful no, troubles are about to increase, and you just gotta whatever happens, there's no excuses for the unfortunate outcomes that may come. You gotta sit in it if that is your story. It says, stay in touch with your inner truth and welcome offers of support from others, but be wary of their enthusiasm. And that's so funny. The next card that we're going to clarify is enthusiasm. So don't, it's saying some people that, are just putting on too much, that are doing too much, that's superfluous or superfluous. People who act in that type of way, be wary of them. But it says, be wary of their enthusiasm and flattery. Such a heady atmosphere could swell you up to balloon proportions pretty fast. Remain centered, humble, gracious, and alert, and you won't end up self-righteously staring everyone off course. Don't allow yourself to get a big head by people, coming in with a whole bunch of, love bombing. Be wary of a lot of enthusiasm and flattery. Stay in touch with your inner truth and welcome offers and support from others, but not if it's too overly zealous. Okay. And top line, it says, you and the Tao are in utter accord. I love it. You're in utter flow. All that you set out to accomplish now will be highly successful. This is the direct outcome of the blessings of this time. Relax and allow the tide to carry you anywhere you need to go. Oh, that's beautiful. And in regards to line 4 with the negative energy, there's no other card that represents negative energy. So I don't really feel like we need to pay attention to that. But, if it's a truth that stung a little bit, then maybe so. All right, so the final card we have here is a 16, which reduces to 7. Very sacred. We said you're a sacred person, as in consecrated or consecrate. That's one of the key words. So enthusiasm, 16. Let's read the card. This is the main card for the card that was pulled. It says enthusiasm manifests in all sorts of ways, but no matter what form it takes, it can hardly be ignored. So again, we can take it for what's going to come from this message. But remember, we did see enthusiasm in the Cauldron card when it spoke of you being weary of enthusiasm, right? Of people that come in to support you, people that come in with a whole bunch of enthusiasm and flattery. Don't allow that to blow up your head. So let's kind of keep that in mind and see how this may correlate. Enthusiasm manifests in all sorts of ways, but no matter what forms, it can hardly be ignored. To be enthused is to be electrified, turned on, zapped, lit up with energy that is out of this world. Enthusiasm is generated by inspiration, and people so enthused can act as a bridge between the cosmic and the ordinary. The energies of receiving and giving, moving through them in one continuous flow from the realm of the unmanifest into world. To be in an illuminated presence is an invitation to come and share in its beauty. That's you sharing your beautiful energy. Just like the Cauldron card says, like all you just being your authentic self. I'm trying to remember what word it used. It didn't use your authentic self. Unique individual, and you expressing your uniqueness or sharing your uniqueness is all that is required. And it's so funny. No. I said sacred earlier. hold on. To be in an illumined presence is an invitation to come and share in the beauty of their experience. One cannot help but feel moved by it. Your energy shifts rooms, right? When you come in as your unique self and share your uniqueness, just your presence again, and just your presence mean you're there to share the beauty of your world. It's an invitation to others to share in your joy and your happiness. That's beautiful. And people can't help but be moved by it. But some people are moved by it with jealousy, some in another way. And you just got to be aware of that. Just like the cauldron said, with all of the blessings coming in, know that envy and harsh criticism, it will come with it. That's okay. Check the read before that I released this morning, okay? The music of Mozart, the sculpture of Michelangelo, the poetry of Shakespeare or Rumi are examples of the human hand and heart being guided to create something immortal through a work of art. But just as valuable is the ability to enthuse or inspire others, enabling them to transcend their own limitations. On a grand scale, we see it in great leaders and humanitarians like Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi, and the Dalai Lama. In spiritual traditions, this luminosity is known as divine inspiration or enlightenment. You bring divine inspiration and enlightenment to people. Okay? And again, per the other read, you may make people feel very enthused, and there's going to be a lot of flattery. And I feel like Spirit, I don't know if it says be wary of that in regards to it blowing up your head. Don't allow it to blow up your head. I think it was more of be wary of it, be mindful of it not blowing your head up. That middle ground, staying there. Because when you start to waver, it's when you start going into territory that can shift outcomes. So don't shun those people if there is that energy, but keep a middle ground, and maybe keep them at a middle ground, help them achieve that middle ground again. Okay, because that is the core, a core belief, should be a core belief for us, is to maintain that middle ground, especially as we're going over lessons of the Tao. I was going to say something else, but let me just keep going. This luminosity is known as divine inspiration or enlightenment and is found in the teachings of Buddha, Jesus, or Osho, to name a few, but whose transcendental wisdom, I have an Osho deck. I'm looking at it right now. I hope I can still find the cards. Those whose transcendental wisdom and compassion continue to transform human lives way beyond their bodily time. We are all familiar with the gifted leaders in history who wasted their potential through arrogance and the ensuing extremes of behavior that ultimately brought disaster. And that's what your head being blown up or ballooning your head, your ego, that's what that can do. And that's what it can bring. Arrogance, which ensues which can ensue extreme behaviors that will ultimately bring disaster. Just said that extraordinarily talented individuals can easily fall prey to delusions of grandeur once they witness the effect their self-expression has on others. That's what the cauldron was talking about in the lines towards the end. Fear of inadequacy can lead to an addiction to the adoration. And that's why we are already steps ahead, because we have filled that self-worth. We have healed that self-worth part of us. There's no inadequacy within us, and every time it does come up, we allow it to be, and we explore it, and we learn, and we grow from it. So we don't have to worry about this addiction to adoration, but at the same time, we need that a reminder, because maybe it can come up. Because you know how people switch and shift when they get power, when they get a title or some shit. Humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. I think that's how the song go. You know what I'm saying? Addiction to the adoration that power can bring, which in turn creates an ever greater need to appear extraordinary. If you fall into this trap, however much you practice, develop your technique, or hone your skills, you will feel as if you are running on a treadmill, on a hamster wheel. Treadmill is the same, you running and you're not getting anywhere. Right? You're running on a treadmill, getting farther and farther from inspiration and ever closer to exhaustion and mediocrity. Wow. Remember that any work produced from a state of depletion can never be luminous. Enthusiasm is sparked in others when they have been inspired, and inspiration can never be contrived. Unchecked perfectionism and preoccupation with how others see us leaves little space for spontaneity, least of all the vibrant energy of enthusiasm. What is needed is the ability to maintain moderation and balance. Again, that middle ground we've been talking about, which can only come with an intunedness to your surroundings, self-awareness, and withdrawing from struggling to create a certain effect. Withdrawing from struggling, withdrawing from drama, withdraw from having to explain yourself to create a certain effect or a certain viewpoint, or to be understood. Like, it's no need, we're not explaining ourselves, feeling like we always have to explain ourselves. That's why we're very clear in our actions and clear in our words. And so if people take offense to it because you're bringing your unique self, your authentic self, it's already to be expected. The Tao told us there's going to be harsh criticisms and envy when you are courageous enough, brave enough to shine your light. This is an opportunity for you to realize your potential. Be inspired and be humbled by it. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Inspire yourself. Okay? Be inspired and humbled. Do not, however, let enthusiasm get the better of you. Certainly you can have a direct influence on others now, but the real joy lies in sharing, not in creating a following. So go ahead, bang a drum, sing your song, let yourself go, dance ecstatically. Create that plan, realize your dream. Be swept through and through by the illuminative creative power of enthusiasm. Embrace this moment of self-expression. Embrace this moment of self-expression and use it positively. It may bring you to your knees in gratitude. This is what Spirit is saying is available now. Okay? The real joy lies in sharing, not in creating a following. So don't allow the growth of your following to make you get a big head either. Okay? Stay inspired and be humbled. Stay centered. So go on, bang your drum, sing your song, dance ecstatically, create that plan, realize your dream. Your dream is being realized right now. It is. Just express yourself, put yourself out there, let your presence be known. And sometimes all you got to do is just be present. Wow. Progress, prosperity. Okay, bottom line, certain people find your enthusiasm overwhelming and they are keeping you at a distance because of it. You would be wise to contain it now so that when the time comes, when the time is right, it can be readily shared and well received. So don't be too enthusiastic. Keep it calm. Keep it playful. Line 2. Do not let other people's enthusiasm knock you off center. The challenge now is to remain solid as a rock despite the heady distractions. If you maintain balance without getting swept up in the excitement of the moment, not too high, not too low, right? You will see when it is appropriate to make an advance and when not to. That's why it's important to stay balanced as well, so that you can have that spontaneity and be able to pivot when needed. You can't pivot when you're too high or too low because you're too focused on being too excited, trying to count your hens before they hatch, or whatever the saying go. Or you just too depressed that you can't see past the tip of your nose. Line 3. To postpone making changes will be regrettable, whatever reasons you might find to do so. Be alert to the moment of opportunity. This is a beautiful moment of opportunity. Don't hesitate to wholeheartedly go for it when it comes. Line 4. Others are enthusiastically drawn to you, supportive and genuinely inspired by your self-confidence and uniqueness. Confidence came out in the last 3, one of the first cards. They're drawn by your confidence and your uniqueness, just like the Cauldron was talking about. You have found you are your own unique individual self, and your uniqueness. What did it say about your uniqueness? It draws people to you. It's the light. I turned right to it. Turn right to the Cauldron. Did y'all see that? Here we go. Just your true individual self, and you just offering your uniqueness to others is a way of returning gratitude to existence. The more you give of your uniqueness, the more you will continue to be rejuvenated, and your life become art, your prayer, your meditation. In its wisdom and abundance, the Tao gently guides you to follow its course, and when you do, it gives back to you 1,000-fold. So share your uniqueness with the world. It's a gift back to existence. Only says, shine your light on the world. Shine your light for the world to see. I think that's how it goes. Umi said, shine a light on the world. Shine your light for the world to see. Okay? Be in the energy of flow so the Tao can bless you 1,000-fold. I'm going to keep going. That's not what I was looking for, but whatever. Inspired by your confidence and uniqueness, you are capable of creating something of real worth right now. Take advantage of the opportunity, because there is a gathering of strong individuals who will further your cause. Okay, the support is here. Line 5. The obstacles you face may be threatening every aspect of your life. Okay, now it's coming to me that line 5, as in 5, change. That's why there may be some negative connotations. I need to research the I Ching again and see what each line represents, and that will help us understand the interpretation of each line. But anyway, line 5. Just like I said before, usually when we see 5, it always seems like it's going to be something negative. It doesn't necessarily always have to. And at the end of the day, the surrounding card says all positive things, but we're going to let the shadow have it shine and acknowledge it, at least. That way we can be prepared if it does resonate, and we can just allow it to be, even if it doesn't resonate, allow it to be, let it know that it's worthy too. The obstacles you face may be threatening every aspect of your life, including your physical health. This is a blessing in disguise, however, as you could become drained by over enthusiasm and excitement. Take care to pace yourself, and you will come through all of these difficulties. Okay, the top line. You have allowed yourself to be enthusiastically swept away and have fallen into delusions of grandeur. Returning to reality may be something of a shock. And this could be people that's surrounding you as well, that can no longer manipulate you. Those jealous people, those envious people, those people with all the harsh criticism. Returning to reality, shock, may be something of a shock. Nevertheless, you can accept the jolt and move with the changes. Move with the changes that need to happen now. You will be made stronger and more realistic by this humbling, if not rocky, experience. Okay, Dal. You have worn me out.
Walkie-talkie mode.
Okay.
Bluetooth mode.
I'm trying to turn you off. Obviously, I need to hold it down. Dal has wore me out. I'm ready to go to sleep. My virtue has been drained. And it really shouldn't be. We had positive messages. It's just that it's so long. Look, we're at an hour. And it was, anyway. All right, family. I hope they helped in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Love you all. And until next time.